Hi all, Hal here with more Empyrion Galactic Survival. And, yeah, so... so, funny story. I was out and about and I was actually doing a little bit of looking on the Steam Workshop for another game, believe it or not. And when I was doing all the updates and everything, I noticed that the ship that I have built for Monday, which I actually built, middle of the night. Actually, no, I'm sorry, not Monday. All of the days are starting to bleed together for me. Oh, unemployment's killing me here. So, in the last episode, you saw me basically build most of this ship. I explained some of my mentality and mindset on it. And when I was going through the workshop, I noticed that there are a couple of ships that are very similar in design. And I don't normally browse the workshop for specifically for Empyrion and even space engineers mainly because of the fact that I don't want to inadvertently copy designs that other people have built. And I know that looking at it, it's a very basic design. It's something that has been built many times over in various different ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to expand on what we have here. I am thinking that what I want to do is, let me get up here. Whoa, hello. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is actually take this from the small ship that it is, and I have saved a blueprint of it as it exists currently. And what I will do is I will expand this out a bit. It does mean that I'll need to figure out where I'm going to park the bloody thing, which will probably be on top of the hangar. So that means that I may need to be putting in an access up on the roof as well. So basically what we're going to end up with is redesigning this ship is going to cause us to redesign the bigger ship a little bit. We do have large open areas on the nacelles, and I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is actually make the hangar for the larger ship up here on the make it as a piggyback hangar kind of thing. I don't know if I'm going to have it open from fore to aft or if I'm going to have it open like this one does where it's a side pass through. But it is something to think about, and I just want to give you some ideas on where my mindset is. So, with that aside, I'd like to say good morning, everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic week so far. I know that with the way that everything's going, that by the time you're seeing this video, I think I had mentioned on the last one that I was going to be out of town for Monday. I'm actually going to be coming back later tonight, so hopefully there shouldn't be a whole lot of delay or impact on any of the episodes this week for any of the content. But if that does look like it's going to be the case, I will definitely let everybody know. All right, so I do think what we're going to do is let's go ahead and move this thing up to the back of the ship. I do like the cockpit. It's really... Oh, I keep hitting T to turn the thing on. But I do like the actual appearance of the cockpit. It's rather nice. So... Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to... Let's land this thing here. Alright. And we are... Are we down? We're down. Okay. And we're docked. Yes. There. Had to check to make sure. Alright, so as you can see, there we go. We are on the back ship, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start working on bringing this out a bit more. See, I'm kind of curious as to what I really want to do with this thing long term, because I do like having all of the components, all of the actual components that I need in that little cell. So I may just make the ship slightly bigger overall. I don't know. See, the thing is I really like it as it is right now. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of off-camera work, see what we can come up with, and then we will come back shortly. See you all in a bit. And welcome back. So, I don't know if I ended up making it look more or less like another ship. Oh, so what I've done is, let's go ahead and get rid of the things that we're looking at here. So I went ahead and put the winglet nacelles on, so we have the vertical support. I used the columns here in between just to give it a little bit of a different detail. I haven't actually gone through and done any texturing on any of this yet. What I'm thinking I'm going to do though is, let's see what this looks like. Basically just trying to make it, you know, clean it up a little bit. I should probably remove those, and yeah, I think I'm going to remove those and spin them so that they that the seam is on the interior. Let's go ahead and do that, I think. See, I should have checked this before I put all of these in. Now, so for the folks who don't know, the decals are dependent on the face of the block. So if we go here, we go bring this up, and we do this, right? And now we use that. Does that put the texture? It actually puts the texture in between everything, so that's good. Okay, so what we're going to do then is go ahead and drag all of those down here. Now, the reason I'm pointing that out is because I actually have had folks ask, how do the coloring tools work? And I'm thinking, yeah, it should be good. It should be good. So yeah, it is based on which way the block is facing. Here, we'll show you, give it a little demonstration here. We use a cube. Okay, so right now the cube is set so the bottom is, well, in relation to my own orientation, facing downward. So now we go, let's grab a texture. Yeah, actually that should be good. Okay, so that's the way you get that texture this way, right? Now let's say you want to, let's flip it so that the bottom is facing us. Now it may or may not line up depending on the orientation of the cube. Okay, so basically they're still on the same planar axis. So now that we have this, let's go this way. And now you have it rotated. So basically these are things that you need to be aware of when you're doing any of the decal work, because what will happen is, and you can see it even in my own construction, there are areas where some of the facings are not the same, and what I've had to do is go through and remove blocks in order to get them to line up. What's a good example? Oh, right here, perfect example. So you see how most of these have that little indent here off to the side, off to the right side? Well, here it's on the bottom, here it's on the top. So that tells me that the block orientation is different. I could take them out, play around with it, and get it to eventually be at least both of these in the same direction. But it is something that you need to be aware of when we're playing with the decals. Unfortunately, there is no way to orient just the decals, and I think I've complained about that in the past. It is something that I would like to see, so that way when you're placing the decals, you have a choice on which way you want them to be the show. Because I do think that when you're in here, you should be able to have an option up here that says, you know, orientate to block, or, you know, which would say, you know, basically operate like it does now, or the option would be to be in whatever the default status is or position is for the logo. That way, if you want to change things, you just simply rotate the block. If you don't want to change things, it doesn't matter which way your block is oriented. And I think that would go a long way to the usability in this. Like I said, everyone's going to have their own thing. Let's see here. Let's go with that. The other thing I would like to see is the ability to have textures from various pages show up on the same side of the craft, or on the same side of the build that you're doing. Can I get away with putting it there? Oh, I can. Oops. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and put a couple of logos on this thing just to mix it up a little bit. Oh. And see, and that's where this is where the orientation of the orientation of the block comes into play. It's unfortunate. Hey, wait a minute. I just realized that's a different texture. Interesting. So you can stack textures. Huh. Yeah, see? They snuck a change in on us. We can actually layer textures now. I'm betting that if you do this, and then you go... Oh, I don't have anything on page 4, so let's try... Yeah, that's what I thought. So the symbols can be a single layer, and textures can be a separate layer. Okay, so that does mostly work then. Interesting. I didn't realize that you could layer the symbols and textures. I don't play around with the texture tool nearly as much as I should. But I am trying to change that, as you can see. Alright. Alright then. Okay, so that's where we are right now with the design of the ship. Like I said, I'm not really sure what my long-term plans are for it. I am planning to change the ship up a little bit, so if you have any suggestions or ideas, be sure to kick them over. I will always be glad to take a look. You know, as I've said before, I am not always the most creative person when it comes to some of the freeform designs. I do like to do big builds, and I cannot lie. Oh, sorry. You knew somebody was going to do it, right? It was going to show up there at some point. Oh my god. Look at that ship. Come on, get up there. Are you... Alright, you know what? Let's do this. Make it easy on ourselves. Did we get everything? Alright, a few more and we are, for intents and purposes, at least for now, done. There we go. Now what I'll probably do is come back through, do some cleanup on this, maybe do a little bit of a paint job on it. I haven't decided yet. I do need to still get the underbody of the ship as well. While we're here, let's go ahead and do that. Alright. Okay, so... we do want to turn off the apply to whole block, because we don't want to apply this detailing to the whole block. We just want to apply it to the area that we're wanting to apply it. Alright. I have to say, I do like the way that this whole thing comes out like this. It is a nice way to detail your ships. You know, it does add a little bit of personality to it when you are able to customize them a little bit more. And I do appreciate the developers' efforts in this regard, because like I said, I am somebody, while I may not always have the most creative designs, I do enjoy building these types of ships. So it's always nice to see that it's taken into consideration and thought of by the developers as well. Alright, so that would be the bulk majority of the ship, I believe. I do think that the little nacelles here add something to the ship. I am actually glad that I did that. Alright. And we still have access to everything in here, and as you can see, this also helps protect the critical components a little bit better, because now in order for them to take damage, it's basically going to have to be a high explosive of some kind. And I may move that light so that it's inside here. I would really like for these to be able to be made into real lights. I do miss those as a light source. I understand why they took it out, but it is unfortunate. Alright. Let's go ahead and take these out. And I think that is going to about do it for us today. I want to thank you all for stopping in today. I hope you enjoyed the episode and you liked the build. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions on what maybe I can do to change the build up a little bit, or even for a new build entirely, be sure to leave those types of comments down in the section below each of the videos. I will do my best to get back to you. I do apologize in advance if I fail to get back to you in a timely manner. Life is a little bit hectic for me right now, and I'm trying to keep up with everything at the same time. I don't want anyone to think that it's intentionally ignoring you. I am not doing so. I just ran out of time. So anyway, I'm out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well, because the likes and subscriptions do help my channel to grow. But more importantly, they keep you informed of updates and as new content comes out. And as I do put out content, I usually at least one episode a day, generally two. It's a good way to know when something comes out that you're interested in. Anyway, I am out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. And as always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Quick, before I suffocate. Oh. Oh, time to make more supplies. Actually, let's go get some food.